Hi, my Florida Garden Escape channel. Welcome back. I'm happy to have you guys here. So we are going to be doing a full tour of our whole outside garden area. And I can't wait to show you guys all what's going on. As y'all are probably wondering what's going on behind me. So let's go ahead and check everything out. See what's going on in the new gardens, as we got tons to show you. And guys, don't ever forget to hit that like and subscribe down below, or that bell. Show your support, as we love having you guys here. And leave us any comments, tips, or advice. We love to hear from you guys. So let's go ahead and check out this garden and let's take a tour. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the first full layout of everything. As you can see, there's been some additions, and I'm just gonna give you guys a couple minutes, see if you guys notice what's different about out here than what we normally have out here. I'll give you guys a couple seconds. Don't know? Haven't seen anything? Haven't noticed anything? Not yet? Okay, I'll just go ahead and tell you what the heck. So, right here is our new blueberry that we got over the weekend, and we got it planted out here with our other blueberries. Now, one thing I did learn as well is that with blueberries, when they go to flower, as you guys can see right here, they shoot out these little pods, which is where the blueberries form. So it doesn't look like we're going to get a whole lot of clusters from our small ones this time, but we added this blue one, which, guys, has a lot of these little clusters. So once these go to blue, then we can harvest them and we'll have tons of blueberries. So we're really excited about that. But enough of the blueberries. Let's go ahead and jump into the bigger garden and show you guys everything that's growing in here. Now, what I have always tell you guys is that marigolds are a good pest resistance to add to your garden. So it helps reduce the number of pests you find in your garden. So as we go through here, I'll be pointing out quite a few marigolds to you guys on where I planted them, because with our abundance of marigolds that we have a lot of them. So I added a lot of them out here to our garden. So first one I am going to show you is actually going to be right here. So as you guys can see, it is right here. It's not very big. It's still growing. We still have a few more. And as we go through the garden, I'll show you guys the little guys we planted out here. So let's go ahead and take a look. I see something here that's bothering me. Now, here is another one of our marigolds, as you guys can see. Now, I'm going to stop the video right here. So we had a late cold front come through. It was really late. It was like middle of March when we got it. Our plants took a heavy hit. So we've had to kind of cut them down and get the bad stuff off. So some of our giant tomato plants that we have here, they didn't do so good and they didn't survive it. So we are trying to grow more, but so far we haven't had any pop off. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. So beside next to this marigold is some of our giant tomatoes, and as you can see, they took a hit. As you can see, they took a mighty big hit, as they don't have anything here. Now this one has some more shooting out, so I'm having more hope for it. These other ones don't have too much going on. They still have some growth to grow. So we're going to see how that does over time. Alright, so we only have those 3 giant tomatoes, and then now I'm going to show you guys so that way you guys know the difference here. On this section here is our beefsteaks. On this section here is our Livingston grapes. So we're going to first go through the beefsteaks, and then we'll go through the Livingston grapes. So here is another one of our marigolds I planted out. As you can see, it is much bigger and it's doing great out here. Here is another one of our tomato plants that didn't do so well from the cold front, but it looks like it's growing some back. It does need to be pushed down into the soil some here. It seems a little loose, and I'll probably have to push some more soil in there so that way it don't fall over anything, because it looks a little loose. So we'll have to do some modifying there. Now, as you can see over here, this is another one of our plants, and as you can see, a lot of the leaves are brown and yellowish, and it just doesn't look good. So we'll have to come out here and remove a lot of this yucky stuff to help it push out more and better. Now, as you guys probably noticed, we didn't have a lot of tomato plants in there in the greenhouse anymore from our previous video, and that's only due to me putting this guy out here. He is now currently out here. So yes, I know he is a little droopy, and we did get him moved out here, but he'll get some water this evening and I'm sure he'll perk right up. They do get droopy from the transplant, as it does stresses them out some. But they'll perk right up, and that's just another Livingston grape tomato we had in the greenhouse. But let's go ahead and keep moving forward here. Alright, so here we have another marigold. And then here is some more of our Livingston grape tomatoes. As you guys can see, these guys did take a hit from that late frost that we had. And they've all taken a bit of a hit. But we're going to get these cleaned up, and we'll do a whole video of our cleanup process. As you can see, a lot of our guys have lost their leaves due to them just falling off and them not being any good. Now, one tomato plant that did remarkably well is this one right here. He didn't take a whole lot of damage from the late frost, which is quite surprisingly. I don't know what it was that kept him alive, but whatever it is, I'm happy it did, because he is looking great. The others still are a lot of work in progress. As you can see here, we got some dead limbs here that need to be removed, and we'll go through and remove some of this dead stuff so that way it's not going to keep growing out like these are. But yep, that's all our Livingston grape tomatoes. Now this one did really well as well. It didn't get a big hit from the late frost we had, which is really surprisingly as well. But a lot of them took a really big hit, but they're growing pretty good. I can't really complain with them too much. Now, our new additions are our red Mercury tomatoes and our green California Wonder bell peppers. Here in this row here is our green bell peppers, and this is our red Mercury. As you can tell, they are a little droopy, as we did just transplant these out yesterday. So they're a little stressed out from being transplanted, as that does tend to happen from time to time during our transplant. But as we water them, they'll kind of perk up and get to being much better. But those were pretty easy of a process to transplant out. Now we do have our butter crunch here. We are going to be harvesting our butter crunch along with some of our baby romaines out here as well. So that way we can feed our bearded dragon that we have inside. And she's going to love this lettuce that we have out here. The butter crunch didn't grow as much anymore due to us getting warmer here in our zone 8. So those won't probably get any bigger. Now over here, I put this right here just so that way nobody would step in this area, because I did also put marigolds here in this area here. As you see, that one there, this one here, that one there, and then this one here. Now these ones over here are our blackberries. There's three of the blackberries that we have. So we have this one that's growing good, and then we do have this one, and then we do have this one over here. Now with these blackberries, I did put here some marigolds, some good pesticides to help keep the pests away from these plants. So far these plants are doing good. We can't really complain with them too much. They're showing great forms of life. Nothing seems to be eating on these plants yet that we've seen. Now on our outer edge here, we have our celery, which is there and there. And then I planted a marigold here, as you can see. And our celery has gotten long. It's not up to 6 to 7 inches yet, and that's when we're supposed to harvest them. So we still got some time on our celery before we can harvest it. And then here is another one of our marigolds, along with here and then the last one is here. And then now we're going to move over to this fencing area. And in this fencing area, you're probably already noticing these two plants up here. This one here is our raspberry, our red raspberry. And then this is going to be like a black raspberry. Because there's a difference between a blackberry and then a black raspberry, as the black raspberry has a more texture to the raspberry. So these two are side by side, as they're just a different kind of variety. So I'm hoping they'll bounce off of each other and feed off of each other and do great. Now this is a new grape we added in here. Looks like something came and munched on it a little bit here. So we'll have to see what's going on out here. But this is the grapes that it's supposed to be. Now, I'm not exactly sure on what kind of grape it is, because it just showed that picture and it just said grape. So I'm not sure if it's the grapes you use to make wine with, or jelly, or some, I don't know. We'll see as it grows. But here on the other side, as you guys remember, we have the black macadamia. And yes, I did think it was dead. And yes, I thought it wasn't going to come back. But I was wrong. I was definitely wrong. So on this black macadamia, I'm going to show you guys. As you can see here, it has shoots. And it's growing new vines. So this end right over here, I'm going to show you guys real quick. This end right here is where our new vine is going through. So we have new growth right here. This whole green section is all new growth. And as you can see, we named this plant Gripper just for the mere fact that it gripped onto everything. And look, if you look, she's already gripped onto this fence. So she's gripping onto everything, and she knows where she's going. As you can see, we have full new growth right here on this end as well. So she's growing, she's climbing, she's making her way. Alright, so now we're going to move more towards the front of the garden, and we're going to check out everything up there. We added a few new plants up here, and you guys aren't going to believe once we get over to the sunflowers how big they've gotten. And we're going to also go over those as well. Now, as you guys know, around Christmas time, we attended a Christmas parade, and we received plants from the Christmas parade, which is weird, but you know, okay, we'll go with it. So we decided to plant them out in a off space away from the garden and everything, because they're supposed to be trees. So this is what they're currently looking like. So we have this one here, which is showing new growth and growing pretty big. I don't know what kind of trees these are. That's why we kind of planted them off to the side. And that's the other one here. Now, I'm not sure what kind of trees these are. They have their tags, but I just don't know what kind of trees they are. So we'll see what kind they are. Alright, so now we are up here at our Florida King peach tree, and as you can see there, we have some new trees, and we'll get to those here in a minute. As I showed you guys previously, our tree was showing a lot of growth, and as you can see, it is showing a lot of growth. It's got some flowers blossoming off of it. It's looking great. We can't really wait for it to really be fully full of leaves and start producing some Florida King peaches. Now, these little guys are two new guys. This one we planted out before the frost had hit us, and then it got hit by that frost. So it had a lot more leaves, and then the frost came and it killed it back, so we had to cut the dead leaves off. But it is showing new growth as it's shooting this out. These are DeWar banana trees. They're supposed to be yellow bananas, and they're supposed to be really good from what I hear. But these are our banana trees. They get really big, so we're going to see what those look like over time. Now, next over here is our Satsuma. Not sure what it's doing, what it's got going on, because we got that big old frost and it died. And then I made a mistake of thinking that Satsuma trees aren't supposed to have thorns on their limbs. So one limb right here I cut off, so that way it wouldn't take away from this one. But I'm starting to think I might have made a mistake, as it's not shooting off anything else. but we'll kind of see how it goes. I do see here at the bottom it is shooting out some new growth, which is pretty cool, so hopefully we'll get something from it. But let's go ahead and move over to our other garden. So now we are here at our front garden area. As you can see, I need to do weeding again. Now we have a lot more through here. It looks empty now, this front part, but we do actually have a lot more in here. So we have a marigold here, and then we also have a marigold here, and then we have another one here and here, and then we have another one here, and then we have another 3 here, as you guys can see, another 2 here, another 2 right here, another 2 right here. So there's a lot more going on here than what you guys can see, and as you guys can also see, we have another 2 right here. Now we do have the azaleas here. This is a holly bush, another azalea, a holly bush, and another azalea. Now this one right here, I figured out these are olive bushes, and these actually get really tall. Now I'm gonna go to the back part of this garden section and kind of show you guys what I've stumbled upon yesterday. As you guys can see here, we have some marigolds growing through here, which as you can see, we have concrete right here, so don't know how well they'll do. Now, if you guys haven't noticed already, I'll just go ahead and point it out. These knockout roses have gotten taller. As you guys can see, they are much bigger. They are blooming great though. They're getting tall, looking great. They've produced a lot of roses. I do need to come through here and pluck off all the dead ones, so that way it pushes out more blooms. And we have a lot more blooms to make our rose water with. Now we're over here in the second part of our front garden section. As you guys can see here, this knockout rose is doing good. Compared to this one, it's not doing so good. So if we did a comparison between these two, this one's actually doing better than this one. Not sure exactly why. Not sure if it's just getting more sunlight than the other one, but whatever the reason, I'm a-okay with it. Now this section, we do have a lot more going on. We have marigold here, a marigold here, and as you guys notice, I know I need to do some weeding through these areas. Now we have another one here, another one here, and then here's another one, another one, another one, another one. We have tons of them. And then this right here is the Gerber daisy that we had, that the frost killed last time, but it's coming back wonderfully as well. Now when we move to this back section, we'll run across another marigold, as you guys can see, connected to another one. And then as we move over here, you'll see marigolds, just abundance of marigolds. Now, as you guys remember me guys telling you, we spreaded the marigold seeds out throughout this whole area, and now we have more than enough of marigolds. So I'm spreading them out, giving them to people and things like that, but they're still definitely growing in this area and still trying to pop off. As you guys can see, we have some there. I've had more pop out here, and this is just on the side of the house where we spreaded more at. We have more here, there. There's another one there, and then I even pushed some to over in this section. For instance, like right there, I have one, and then I just planted this guy out over here. So we still have a lot more. Now, when we come over to this side, we just planted some out, so we still got to do some watering. But before we go into it, as you guys remembered, our Canaan lily was small. It was very small. Wasn't going a lot. When I turn this camera around, y'all are going to be stunned. Y'all are going to even be stunned about the sunflowers that we have. So, I'm going to flip you guys around in 3, 2, 1. And bam. Now, as you guys can see, there is some brown leaves going on here, but that's only due to the frost that damaged them. And I'll clip those out so that way it helps push out more growth. And as you can see, they're getting taller, they're getting bigger, we're getting some more shoots coming through. So I'm definitely happy with the Canaan lily this time. Now, here we have, as you guys can see, there's a space between these plants. And that's only because if you get down lower here, you'll see we have marigolds growing here. And that's what's going to entertain the space between these plants. Now, as you guys can see here, these are our sunflowers. You're probably thinking, Selena, what steroids have you given your sunflowers because they're super freaking tall? To be honest, I didn't give my plants steroids. I wouldn't agree to that. That's not natural. That's a chemical drug. Technically, I think technically, yeah. And drugs are not good for plants. So, these are tall. But if you look closer, you'll see these sunflowers are getting ready to bloom. And they are going to look beautiful when they do. And you know the weirdest thing with these sunflowers, guys, you notice how we have a tall one, medium size, and then short. Last time we had sunflowers here, it was in this same rotation, except this one was short, this one was tall, and this one was medium size. So it's definitely interesting to see how they're growing differently than they did this last time. But they're doing great. They're looking marvelously. I was worried about them when my Rottweiler got a hold of them and chewed them up. But they're doing so much better. I love their progress. And they're looking amazing. But now as we move down here, you'll see here we have a marigold here. And I would show you the other two, but I don't know what's going on with them because I transplanted them today. So we'll have to water them and just hopefully they pop back up. Hopefully I don't have to move more over there. If I do, that's okay. So I mean, it's not a big deal. But hey, it is what it is. We got plenty more marigolds to push around. So I can't even talk now. So that is going to be it, guys. That's going to be our full tour. That's all the changes we've made. We got so much more going on and so much more coming forth this coming season. It's going to be mind-blowing. We're going to be so freaking busy around here. It's going to be unbelievable. But that's going to be it, guys. Don't forget to check out our TikTok, as we're always posting new videos there. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page, as we always got something fun and exciting going on there. Until next time, guys, keep growing, keep learning, and keep being awesome like you are. Have a great rest of your day. Deuces!